Hey YouTube, it's me, Protogenius, back with another fun paper airplane tutorial. Today we're going to be making an F-117 Stealth Nighthawk. It's a pretty accurate paper airplane, and it's a lot of fun to make, and gets a lot of attention. So, here we go. Alright, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to take our regular sheet of copy paper, and we're going to fold that right in half the long way. Then we're going to open that up, and we're going to fold that not right in half, but almost. We're going to fold that to where there's a half-inch gap at the bottom, right here. And you can use the center line as your reference line. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to open that up. We're going to fold right into our middle intersecting point here. We're going to do our diagonal fold here. Like we do in so many of the paper airplane tutorials that I do. We're going to make sure, using this reference, this line right here as a reference, get that lined up really good on both the top and the bottom. Okay, open that up, and then now we can use this line right here as a reference. Make that go over the top of itself here, and then make sure that these lines right here and right here are all lined up good. And it goes right into the middle, right there. One side. Make sure that goes right into the middle, right there. All lined up, good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flatten that out. We're going to fold into the middle here, just like that. And then we're going to push this one down in. Hold your finger right there and flatten that back out again. Okay. And now we have our house shape right here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fold to this point. We're going to fold to this point and this point on the shorter side. So where the gap is, you can see the gap when it's on when it's flipped to this side of it. And so what we're going to do is just fold right along that parallel line underneath. Try not to tear these corners right here as you fold that. So right to the other corner right there. Good. Alright, it's going to kind of have that paper hat shape now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to flip that over and open that up, just like that. And we're going to take this fold and reverse fold it in, right there. And then we're going to fold from this point right here to the center right here, where it matches up on this line. So, just like that. A lot like our F-14 Tomcat again. Now the closer you get to that center, the better. And so, now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And try not to rip these corners down here as you do that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to crease that back in, and this is our top now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold, as you can see, our line right here in the center, right there, this line right here. What we're going to do is we're going to take and fold right down into the tip right here, and fold right along that line with the top of the wing, right here. And then we're going to make the other side match up with that real good. Very good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is when we're going to start making this a three-dimensional airplane. I'm going to flatten that out, just like this. Okay, now we're going to come back from the tip. We're going to come back from here, back 1 3/4 inches back. And so, if we need to get a ruler out, and then we'll just take it back 1 3/4 inches, and I normally mark it with my thumb, so we have a nice little divot in the paper to work off of right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from this point right here, where this paper and this paper right here meet up. We're going to take it from that point to that the little crease we just made right there. We're going to make a fold straight across that way. So I'm going to kind of flatten this out now. And I'm going to fold right there. That point to our divot that we made in the paper. Right there, good. And then we're just going to flatten that all the way down. So the fold looks like this. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the airplane and we're going to kind of push this down right here and flatten it out just like that. And we're going to push the wing down. We're going to flatten the whole thing out and kind of make a mirror fold with that right there. So it's going to make a nice V shape inside of it when we get to that point. So now it should be flattened out like that, real good. Now, as you'll notice, we have a fold on one side right here, right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold that down and just make it a good mirror fold right here on both sides. Good. Now we're going to take and we're going to push that back out again. We're going to open up the airplane a bit. Now, as you can see, we have these two areas back here on this airplane. What we're going to do is we're going to open that up and push one under the other to where it looks like this on the inside. So you can see that three-dimensional shape right there. We're going to have a nice triangle there. Make sure the one side gets pushed right up against the other piece on the inside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip that over and keep those two pieces pushed up against each other. We're going to put that down on our table without letting it slide. And we're going to pinch the paper to where it makes a fold all the way up into the middle point right there. And what you're going to do is, now that it's pinched, you're going to kind of lay it over to one side, just like that. You're going to open that up again and push it down to the other side so it has a nice straight crease on the inside, just like that. It's a nice crease right there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip this over. You'll see we're starting to get that shape that we want. The top of the cockpit right there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to actually take and we're going to open up one side of this and kind of flatten that out right there. So you can see that. Take and flatten that out just like that. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Get a thumb up underneath there. Flatten that out just like that. And what we're going to do is you can see our fold right here. So we're going to fold along that line right there, just like we did with the last stuff. Now that we've got that opened up, you can see that the back's not creased yet. And so we're just going to kind of lay that down on the table and crease that back right there on both sides. Just get that good and creased right there. Alright, good. Now we're going to be able to start working on our tail. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take and fold from this point, and we're just going to kind of fold this over right along this line right here. Just going to fold right there. Right there. Okay, now you're going to flip that over and do the exact same thing on the other side. So get right to that point, fold that right over and along that line. Just get it to fit real snug against it. Make sure your mirror folds are real good on that so that those match up really well. Good. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to open up that, and we're going to fold that again, just like we did, just barely, only we're going to use this line as our reference. Just going to fold that right over and into that fold. Kind of like that. Right there. Keep that open like that, and now we're going to flip it over. Open up this side. Use that line as a reference and fold right down onto that. All the way down into the point, remember. Along that line. Now it should match up real nice with the one underneath it now. So okay. Okay, so those should match up real nice right now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that right there. As you can see, we've got our line right here, and we're going to fold back our wing right along that line right there. So it matches up real nice on that. Right there. So we're going to do that on the one side, and then we're going to flip it over and do it on the other side so it matches along with that line right there. Make sure our mirror folds look good on this. Very good. Alright, so we got that line now. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the tail. And now what we're going to do on the back side right here, what we're going to do is we're going to take from this point of intersection where these lines intersect right here at that point, and we're going to come back about a 1/4 of an inch right there, and then there's going to be a little spot right here where it's going to meet up with it on the tail. Try not to rip it right there. Pull that back to the 1/4 of an inch spot right here, and then just don't tear that, just fold right up to that point where those two lines intersect, and then just crease that good right there. Good. Now we're going to flip that over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Make sure that those lines match up with each other. They're good and parallel, good mirror folds. Just like that. Right there. The lines will match up. Now I'll put this over the top of the other wing, the other piece. Put that over the top of the other piece. Now refold our tail right here. Refold that. Refold that. Good. That's going to be our tail. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take and as you can see is all flattened out right now. We're going to take and we're going to recrease this line right here where we folded originally on both of those. I'm going to push that down into the inside right there. Just like that. Okay. And now what we're going to do is, now that we've got that line, we've got it all pushed down inside, just like that. What we're going to do is we're going to fold from this point. There's actually already a line underneath, but we're going to have to reestablish it. So there's from this point to this point right here. From this point right here to this point, we're going to fold along that line that you can see right there. We're just going to, you can push this down inside of there. Fold along that line. Fold the wing up, just like that. flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Push this down right here. Fold that along that line. Good. You guys got that there. Alright. Now, fold that back down, and now what we're going to do is we're actually going to open that up again just a bit to where it's sitting straight. So there should be kind of a little inlet right like that on there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to go to our nose area right here, and we are going to fold from this point, and we're going to come down to where it's right in the middle between this line and this line, and we're going to fold that in just like this. Flatten that out, that line in there, just like that, all the way up to this point. And just use this other line right here as a reference as to where the middle, where we're folding on it. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to fold another line that's going to be right along this. It's going to kind of fold back a little bit, so we're going to kind of keep that flattened out again like that, and we're going to put our finger right here. We're going to push up in the middle, just kind of do that to it right there. If you can see what's going on, I'll let you see the fold here in a second when it's a little more pronounced so that you can tell what's going on with it. So we're going to push that down to where it's going to look like this on the tip right there. So when you open it up, it's going to look like that right there. Alright, and so now I'm going to pull back, and our airplane is actually done. So what we're going to do is we're going to flatten this out underneath right here, just like that. You can see our point right there where the nose comes in, and then we've got our main lines right here. Fan our tail up just a little bit, and our F-117 is finished. It is a really good looking airplane. Now, I know everyone's going to ask this question, does it fly? The answer to that is not very well. This, if you know the history behind the F-117, it is not a very well flying airplane. It is, if it wasn't for all the really high-tech technology that's been put into this airplane, the actual airplane itself would not fly. So it looks really good though. You got a nice place back here where you can put it on a shelf and make it, display it like a model, or you see if you can get it to fly. Maybe put a few paper clips on the front and see what you can do with it. Anyway, that is my F-117 Stealth Nighthawk. Feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I got a lot of really good paper airplanes coming, and I look forward to teaching you some more.